Have you ever argued with a narcissist about the facts of a situation? It's a uniquely bewildering and exhausting experience, one that can leave you questioning your own mind. You walk into a conversation thinking you're just going to clarify a simple point, and you walk out hours later, tangled in a web of confusion, your head spinning. This is often one of the first and most telling warning signs that you're dealing with a narcissist. It's a red flag that's easy to miss at first, because it seems so illogical. You assume it's just a misunderstanding, a simple miscommunication that can be cleared up with a little more discussion. But the discussion never clears anything up. It only makes the water murkier. You get caught up in these strange, circular conversations where you're not just discussing different perspectives, you're arguing about what's real. The very foundation of shared reality seems to crumble. This isn't a debate about feelings or interpretations. This is a battle over objective, verifiable reality. Instead of debating opinions, you're debating facts. Simple, straightforward facts. What was said? You might have a verbatim memory of a promise they made, but they will insist with absolute certainty that those words never left their mouth. What wasn't said? They might accuse you of saying something hurtful or insulting that you know you never said, creating a conflict out of thin air. How they responded. You'll recall them yelling, and they'll claim they were perfectly calm, or that you were the one who was raising your voice. What you two agreed on, a plan you made together, a decision you both committed to, will suddenly be erased from their memory. Or worse, twisted into something completely different. You can literally spend hours, days, weeks, or months trying to get them to see and accept reality. This is the quicksand of narcissistic engagement. You feel that if you could just find the right words, the perfect piece of evidence, the undeniable proof, then the argument would be over. The truth would prevail, but the goalposts are always moving. This pattern is a form of psychological abuse known as gaslighting. It's a deliberate tactic designed to make you doubt your own perceptions, your memory, and your sanity. They might use phrases like, "You're being too sensitive," "That never happened," or "You're remembering it wrong." Over time, this constant invalidation erodes your self-trust. They also employ selective memory, conveniently forgetting any facts that contradict their narrative while remembering, with vivid and often exaggerated detail, any perceived slight you may have committed. But what you usually don't realize at this point in the relationship is why these debates are unwinnable. It's not about a failure to communicate. It's about a fundamental difference in objectives. You are seeking truth and connection. They are seeking control and validation. What's known as narcissistic supply is that narcissists don't care about the facts. Their entire sense of self is built on a carefully constructed facade of perfection and superiority. Underneath this facade is an incredibly fragile ego and a deep-seated sense of shame. Admitting to a fact that proves them wrong, fallible, or less than perfect feels, to them, like an existential threat. It risks shattering the mask, exposing the emptiness they feel inside. To avoid this profound shame at all costs, they must reject any reality that doesn't align with their idealized self-image. They don't care about what's true. Truth is flexible. It's a tool to be used, bent, or discarded as needed to serve their primary goal, self-preservation. They only care about what they can get away with. And to do this, they employ a range of manipulative tactics. You'll encounter outright denial, a flat refusal to acknowledge reality, even in the face of concrete proof like a text message or an email. Then there's Darvo. Deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. For example, you might say, "You hurt my feelings when you forgot our anniversary." They will deny it was important, attack you for being needy, and then reverse the roles, claiming they are the real victim because you're always nagging them and making them feel inadequate. They care about what fits their narrative. They will engage in word splitting, where the argument devolves into a ridiculous debate over the precise definition of a word. You said they yelled. They insist they merely spoke firmly. This tactic is designed to exhaust you and derail the conversation from the actual issue. You'll also face whataboutism. When you try to hold them accountable for an action, they will immediately deflect by bringing up something you supposedly did wrong, often from months or even years ago. Suddenly, you're the one on the defensive. They care about how they're perceived by others. This is where triangulation comes in. They will bring a third person into the conflict, real or imagined, to validate their position. They'll say things like, "Well, our friend John agrees with me," or "Even my therapist said you're overreacting." This is designed to make you feel isolated and wrong, as if you're the only one who sees the situation this way. The cumulative impact of these tactics is devastating. You start to feel constantly confused, walking on eggshells. You lose trust in your own judgment and memory. The endless circular arguments are emotionally and mentally draining, consuming vast amounts of your time and energy that could be spent on your own well-being and growth. It's a profound loss. So if you're hoping to get them to admit to any facts that would make them look bad, prove they lied, or implicate them in any wrongdoing, you must understand, it's not going to happen. So what can you do? The first and most powerful step is to disengage from the debate entirely. Recognize that you are not obligated to participate in a conversation that denies your reality. You can set a boundary. A simple exit line can be, "I'm not willing to argue about what happened. I know my truth." Or, "We remember this differently, and I'm not going to debate it." Then you physically leave the conversation. Another strategy is the gray rock method. You make yourself as uninteresting as a gray rock. You give short, factual, unemotional answers. This removes the emotional reaction, the narcissistic supply, that they are trying to provoke. It's also crucial to document events for yourself. Keep a private journal or a log of conversations, dates, and what was said. This is not to gather evidence to use against them. That will only pull you back into the debate. This is for you. It's an anchor to reality, a way to validate your own experiences when you start to doubt yourself. In situations where you can't completely disengage, like co-parenting or a workplace environment, you can time box the conversation. Say, "I have 15 minutes to discuss the logistics of this project." Stick to the facts, keep it brief, and when the time is up, the conversation is over. It's important to note that in situations involving legal matters, co-parenting agreements, or workplace HR issues, you may need to engage on the level of facts. In these cases, it is vital to seek external support. Communicate through lawyers, use court-approved parenting apps, or involve a manager or HR representative. Do not try to navigate these high-stakes factual debates alone. Your safety and well-being are paramount. Ultimately, letting go of the need for them to see the truth is an act of profound self-care. It's not going to happen. The only facts narcissists care about are the ones that match their narrative, the ones that protect their fragile ego and maintain their sense of control, meaning they may not be facts at all. They are pieces of a story, a fiction created to keep their world intact. The moment you stop trying to edit their story and start focusing on writing your own is the moment you begin to reclaim your peace, your energy, and your reality.